Hello, everybody. It's Simon Weatherall here again, and we are talking today about strategy. All right, someone famous, I can't remember who it is, turned around and said you can either failing to plan is planning to fail. All right, we don't want that for you. So what we want to do is look at planning. We're going to look at some things about advertising, traffic value and costs, and personal branding and avatar. Okay, all of this is really important, but today we're talking about planning and strategy. Okay, if you start doing this early, you are going to be much better off. All right, so my personal belief is you need to look down and do a couple of things. You've got to look at, first of all, what is the time that you can put into this? And number two, what is the budget you can put into this? And by budget, I'm talking about the folding stuff that you've got, your cash. How much money can you put at this? And then number three, what skills have you got? Okay. And the skills it's like, you can have a look at what resources you've got. All right. The great man, Tony Robbins, says it's not a question of resources, it is a question of resourcefulness. Okay. So none of us have an excuse, but you need to sit down and work out all of these. Okay. Because when you have advertising, when you do everything, the whole thing about successful affiliate marketing, it's basically eyeballs to whatever you're promoting, okay? And that's what it's all about. Eyeballs to what you're promoting, successful sales, and do that. Now, it doesn't matter, we talk about different strategies, about whether you put this through to a list or everything else. At the end of the day, it's as simple as that. Traffic to the offer makes you money. So at the end of the day, we need to work out to do our traffic, because traffic is the number one key. In all of this, traffic is the number one key. Doesn't matter how good what you've got is, if nobody sees it, nobody knows about it, nobody's going to buy it. But if you're selling even something average and tens of thousands of people see it, some people are going to buy, okay? Now, what we want to try and do is match having a really good level of people buying or people seeing it and a higher percentage of buying. So that's ultimately where we're going to go to. But traffic is number one in all of this. If we can get good, cheap, quality traffic, we're always going to be a success in this industry. Doesn't matter what niche you're in, what you're promoting. If you've got good quality traffic at a very low price and you can send them to good quality offers, you are always going to be successful in this. So traffic comes down to two, and you've heard me say this before, but we have free versus paid. All right. Now, free, generally take that as time. Okay. If you're going to generate free traffic, normally, and it's not always the case, but normally it's all related to time. So you're going to go out and you're going to be doing something to generate that. So there are hundreds and hundreds of ways of generating traffic, but free is generally going to be things like, creating content, doing things, and creating content can be on all kinds of stuff. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, article marketing, forums, blogs, it doesn't matter. You're basically swapping time to get that, okay? And then you have paid, and that's like, your cost per click, and you've got just, all that kind of stuff. But you're actually just paying somebody, and then, so this is free is normally slower, okay? Versus paid is normally speed, okay? It's quite quick. Now, there is room for both, okay, guys? It is very important to understand that there is room for both. We need to understand that. But you need to sit down and look at your own personal thing and see how much time you've got to have and what your budget's going to do. Some people, generally people on a time, money, continue, time, versus money, most people are going to fit in here somewhere. Like, you know, if here's the chart, so you've got time up here, money here. You know, some people are basically going to fit along here somewhere. You've either got lots of time and no money, or you've got lots of money and no time, or you fit in somewhere in between. And you need to work out where you fit in that whole scale and pick your point. And so you're there, you know, you've got a bit of time and a bit of money. So you'll cater your strategy to that, okay? That's the first thing. So sit down and work that out, number one, okay? Work out your time, work out your budget, work out roughly where you fit on this and how much you want to do. Also, have a consistent thing about what are the results that you want. You know, what is your results? Or put another way, what are your goals? What's your target earnings? All of these are also going to be a lot more relevant. And how quickly? You know, these are all important questions you need to ask yourself, because if you want to do something super quick and get it earning out of the blocks, then you're probably looking at here, we talk about quick, paid traffic. If you are not so worried about that, but you want to build something up and you don't have much money, so you're starting at this end of the continuum, then you, or this end of the situation, you then are probably going to be looking at a slower process, okay? So you really need to sit down and work this out for yourself. Time, budget, and work out with these things here. How quickly you want to do it, what results do you want to get, what are your goals, what are your targets? Work out your expectations, match it to your time and budget. If you want to do something super quick, get great results, make lots of money, and do it all for free with no money, it's, again, you're unrealistic. This is not a get rich quick. It is going to be, you know, a dream. You're believing in unicorns and unrealistic expectations. Take a step back. Okay, so match that up. It's got to be consistent with everything, guys. You can't expect to have great results without either spending the money or spending the time. Okay, so work that out. Number three, once you've kind of worked out how much time you want to put into it and everything else, what are your skills? Now, I would suggest we do a skill list, okay? So what are your skills? You know, what can you do? So like, you know, maybe you can write well. Maybe you're good at graphics. You know, that's a super good skill on Facebook and Instagram and everything else. So go through and just list all your skills and things that you like doing. You know, what do you like? What are you good at? Focus to your strengths, okay? We're going to focus on strengths. Don't try, you know, you can become an expert at anything if you really want to. But if you hate something, why would you bother? Let's be super serious. So have a look at your skill list, and then what skills do you need? Plan it out, you know, to what you can do. Because the other thing is, we said resources. Okay, so we can go and have a look at what resources we have available to us, you know, and we can outsource. You know, we have partnerships, so you can work with partners. You know, maybe it's just you can hire somebody. There is a lot of other ways to do it, but this all fans again. You know, if you're hiring somebody or you're outsourcing, then obviously this relates to your budget. So these are just simple things. Look at your skill list, look at your resources, and then work that into your strategy. So then after you've done all of that, your strategy is going to be, you know, what is it that you're going to do? So maybe, you know, hey, this is really good. I've got a bit of time. I've got some money as well. So I'm going to do Facebook. You know, I love Facebook. I understand how it works. So I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to do, you know, daily content. I'm going to set up my own Facebook page. So I'm going to have a fan page, and that part of it is going to be time. And then you say, but I'm also going to do some cost per click, and there you come in your money. And then, so you've got a whole Facebook strategy that says, I'm going to set up a page, I'm going to post great content on every day, I'm going to interact with everybody that responds with me, but I'm also going to pay to promote that message as well, okay? And this will go into, so look at your skills, look at your resources, you know, maybe you love to, as I said, maybe you love to write, maybe you love to do graphics, that will all send. Maybe you love to get on videos and shoot videos and you want to do YouTube. Maybe you're going to write articles. Maybe you're going to, as I said, do great graphics on Instagram and Pinterest and, you know, all these other ones that are out there now. Maybe you love being on video, TikTok, YouTube. But all of these stuff, play to your strengths, work out what resources you have. You know, resources are also, you know, things like money and time, but work out what you've got and have a strategy overall for everything that you're going to do. I would recommend get good at one thing before you start going on to another. Or if you're going to outsource or hire somebody, it is good to understand it first. You don't need to master it, but understand. Because if you understand it, when somebody speaks to you about it, you know exactly what they're talking about. You also know the expectations of what results you should be getting. If you're getting X results when you're doing it, then somebody else better be getting better results than what you are. If they're not getting better results from you are, why are you paying them for it? Okay? So go through, do your analytics, do your planning, and work out what it is that, where your strengths are, what resources you've got, and then what your plan's going to be. And it may be like, you know, to start with, it's going to be Facebook. And then we're going to go on to Instagram. And then after Instagram, we're going to go to Pinterest. All right. You know, I'm just using examples here. Maybe YouTube, maybe TikTok. Doesn't really matter what it is, but have a plan to start going through. It may be simple as if you do something that's like, you know, maybe you're a bit more experienced and you're going to have a blog, right? So you have your blog, or maybe this is a YouTube channel, okay? And then you can have your content. So you do your video or whatever it is. And then you go and put that message on Facebook and you put it on Twitter and you put it on Pinterest and Instagram. And then, you know, whatever else, maybe you do some paid cost per click traffic, whatever it is. And then you send everybody in that to that. And then don't forget, if you've got your list, then you're going to have your email out saying, hey guys, we've got some great new content on our site. So, you know, that could be a blog, it could be YouTube, it could be your Facebook fan page. So you're creating some content and then you're repurposing little tidbits so you can send out to all of these different ones. So you build up. Now remember, without getting into too much detail here, different platforms will have slightly different interests in the way that they like their information. But this is one way of getting everybody back to a central thing. And then from here, you want to be sending them to something that's going to be an offer that's going to generate either, depending on how you're doing this, they're either offer or get them onto your database as well, okay? And then that will feed back into that. All right, with all this stuff, you want them to like, you want people to start seeing you everywhere. You want to start getting them to like you and trust and respect you, but you don't want to do this without having a proper strategy, because then it's all disjointed and you lose focus and everything else. So this is a way of where you can pull it all in together to make it work. All right, so that's a quick thing talking about it. So you're planning, analyze yourself. What is the strengths and weaknesses that you have? What is your budget? And then you have a look at all these. As I said, different demographics, depending on what it is, you may just decide that your demographic and your niche market is all about being on just one or two of these channels. And then you just focus on that, learn that, do the skill in that, become really good at that, master that, then outsource it to somebody and then take over the next bit. You know, that's there. The other thing, while you're doing all of this, consider personal branding, okay? personal branding, you want people to recognize your brand, okay? For us, you'll see the little blue dude all over the place, okay? That's just getting people familiar with it. People, when they see it, they go, okay, we talk about 21 touch points in this day and age. You know, it used to be 7 in marketing. If people saw something 7 times, then they'd be familiar with it, comfortable to buy. Now in modern thing, we have an attention span less than a goldfish, okay? 21 touches is now what is needed. And then we're also going to work out who your target market is. And we're going to talk about that in one of our next videos. Work out your target market. Absolutely critical, because if you know who your target market is, you are going to have much better results. You do not want to be selling hamburgers to vegetarians, okay? That's common sense. So that's it, an overall snapshot. Again, if you know your target market, you'll know where they're going to be, and maybe they're on these channels, maybe they're not, and that's what you want to focus. So I hope that's really helpful. As always, leave your comments below. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. And if you want something else done for you, any questions you've got, leave them there. We will expand on it, shoot another video for you, or whatever you need. Anyway, hope that was super helpful. As always, stay safe and healthy.